Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to JAPADA, where returnees don't just come home, they transform home. Kunle Balogun studied in Florence, Italy, where he mastered design. Then, in 2017, he returned to Nigeria and founded House of Assembles, HOA Interiors. He's flipping spaces using 100% Nigerian-made pieces and making interiors that truly belong here. He's building Nigeria's future through his brilliant and functional spaces. You could even say his journey was by design. We'll be having this maestro of motifs right here on JAPADA. So don't go anywhere, our show starts right now. Welcome back. This is JAPADA and our guest is here and he's ready to share. Hi, Kunle.
Hi, Mimi. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great. Awesome. Good.
Fantastic. I'm very excited to get into the conversation. So Thank you for honoring us.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic. So first things first, we cannot have a maestro as yourself on our set and not get approval. So please look around and tell me, how did we do?
It's awesome. I like it. I like it. I like the pampas grass. I like the map projection of, Africa. It's nice. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Yay for us. So I mean, you've had such a great and illustrious career in design. I know you've designed for people like Davido, The Band, Don Jazzy, the 3Ds. But before we get into all of that, before we get into your journey, finding yourself as an interior designer in Nigeria, let's talk about your background.
Right.
What was growing up like for Kunle Balogun? And how did your environment shape your eye for design?
I grew up in Nigeria. I went to primary school here in Corona. I went to Adrao International School in VI, Lagos. So my childhood, I come from a family of just boys.
Okay.
It's 5 of us.
Oh, wow.
And I'm the 4th. So I have one younger brother. And with design, I just noticed that from a young age, right, and then this is just like me being 5 years old, wanting to be something, then being asked for 6 to 7 years old. But as time went by, I realized that I was that kid in the house that liked to arrange stuff. But you don't know it's a talent. You don't know you can make something of it. You just think that that's your behavior. My mom wasn't a big fan of interior design. I think she sold textiles.
Okay.
And then when we would go to places to compare pricing, so what she usually did was she got her textiles from Austria. So she liked to go to the market to investigate those that are copying her designs.
Love it.
And then in those areas, they usually sell curtains. I just find myself drawn to, the curtains, the rugs, and this is places like Lagos Island. And, just everything just always drew me. The plants in my house, but I never knew I could do anything with it.
Yeah.
It was just, things that caught my attention. I don't know. And I was not one of those kids that was good at math, science. I like to read, I like to write, I like to, speak publicly, but traditional school wasn't really my thing. I was, whatever degree that I get, I would end up doing something different in the creative field. I didn't think I was going to. So I did, after secondary school, I went ahead to write the SATs. That took me to the United States.
Okay.
So in the United States, I went to undergrad in Towson University. My master's degree was in business administration in the University of Baltimore.
Okay.
It was between graduating undergrad and going to grad school. So I was an international student.
Yeah.
I'm not a citizen of the US. And you sign up for this thing called OPT. OPT is supposed to give you a work permit.
Yeah.
And for some reason, mine took a while. So all I did was wait for the OPT. And while I'm waiting, obviously I'm jobless, so all I'm doing is partying. And then at some point you sit down and then you realize, I'm gonna go to grad school. I don't know what I'm gonna go to grad school for. Is it MBA? Is it MPA? Is it human resource? And so I just started to do things like go to this place called Bath and Body Works or Bed Bath and Beyond, and I would just start to redecorate the house because I was bored, and then I'll buy
Your house.
the house that I stayed in, and then I think that really influenced it a lot because when our parents got us the house, that was my freshman year in college. That's the first year, and then I usually would just go and start buying random things like new rugs, new candles, just But I just thought it was a hobby, a habit, and then between the OPT and starting grad school, I realized that I'm actually good at it. That was the first time I told myself that I'm actually good at it. Now, what I was good at was decorating. It's two different things. Interior design and decoration are two different things. So that's where it starts from. It starts as a hobby, and then you can realize that you can learn, more about spaces. So I started to go to places like furniture stores, and in America, it's unusual for a black man to walk into like a Bed Bath and Beyond and start shopping, or a Bath and Body Works. So I used to get laughed at by my American friends. My American, most especially the black ones.
Guys.
It's like the guys. But I mean, I'm Nigerian. It didn't faze me, and then it didn't affect me because I knew they were joking. It was just like they knew that I had a flair for it, and after I got the OPT, I worked for a year at the Department of Juvenile Services.
Okay.
So I've done a lot of things in my life, all over the place.
Because clearly that was a job that had nothing to do with interior design.
And my degree was in criminal justice.
Okay.
So
Your first degree?
My first degree was in criminal justice. So I had to, do something in relation to that. So I applied for a job at the Maryland Department of Juvenile Justice. So what I was working with juvenile offenders. It was fun, but it was also tiring at the same time. It was kind of, there's nothing I've done in my life that I had fun doing other than interior design.
So everything else you've just been
everything
doing.
I've been doing it just because society expects me. Yeah, I either have to, or there's a thing in my family you have to get 2 or more degrees with my parents, And then I did the work thing for a year before grad school. I went to grad school for MBA, and right after grad school, I had already applied. I had applied for interior design school way ahead.
Okay.
Because I really wanted to do it.
And this was interior design school in Italy?
Florence.
Okay.
In Florence, Italy. So I called my dad. I was like, "Oh, Dad, I'm not done. No. But,
There's still more money to pay.
And then the family business is politics. And I'm the only one that didn't, till this day, I'm the only one that didn't, get into politics. The first time I remember my first day of design school, I was the happiest I've ever been in a while. Although America exposed me to who I wanted to be, but Florence kind of shaped me because that's the first time I actually sat in a class and wanted to be there.
And you wanted to be there. So did you leave for Florence immediately the year was up once you were done with the job?
Yeah, so when I was done with grad school, I came back, I did Dirty December for like 2 weeks. I came back in December, I did 2 weeks, and then I went back in January. So it started in the spring.
Okay, so you went back to Italy.
So I went to Italy for the first time. So you're moving from America, do Dirty December in Nigeria for 2 weeks, and then moving to another country, which is Italy, to start what you really always wanted to do.
And that lasted how long?
2 years.
2 years, wow. Wow. Oh, you put your time into that.
I did.
How easy or difficult, as the case may be, was it convincing your parents to back you on that journey? Okay,
so my dad thought it was fashion design. when my dad heard design, my dad was like, yeah, so because when you're an international student in America, you pay times 3 of what a US student will pay. So my dad was, and I was his 4th born. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So my dad was over just sending money those days. And he was like, where are you going? You better come and do NYC, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't ready for, I figured that I needed to come to Nigeria. I was going to move to Nigeria. I needed to come and do something that I love, that I like. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not the type that's good at many things. I am good at most things that are creative. That has to do with, the creative mind or being hands-on in something. I don't really know how to sit and play with numbers on a desk and everything, And then it showed in, traditional school.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your time in Florence, the 2 years that you spent there. Right. What was that like?
Well, it was refreshing because I got to experience another culture other than the one that I, grew up with, and then with the American culture as well. Pretty much everything that I knew, I either learned in person or saw on TV. But the Italian lifestyle was nothing that was, ready for. I loved it. It was a great city. Obviously, not many Black people, and obviously not many Black people studying interior design. So I was very popular. It was the food, the fashion. I just loved the experience. And then it was like the first time that I sat in a classroom and actually enjoyed what I was doing. Every other academic experience was just because it got paid for by the people that wanted me to get the degree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm grateful for what I learned in business school, but I had always known that I was going to, do something creative for the rest of
your life.
Life. My career path was going to be not the traditional, school.
So I particularly find it interesting when people are able to pursue their passions as a career path. I think it's very lucky.
Right. I got lucky.
Yeah, not a lot of
lucky.
people.
Yes. I really thought I was going to be a lawyer. In fact, I failed the LSAT. While I was writing it, like I said, during the OPT/MBA program, when I was waiting for the OPT, I started to study for the LSAT. And I just felt like, this thing I've been saying I wanted to do for years. It was just something that I thought looked cool. I wasn't good at it. I always pictured being a New York lawyer. I was going to move from Maryland to New York and be this fancy lawyer.
Very suits-like.
Suits-like. So you just find out that all this stuff is off of a TV show and all this stuff. I was that kid that would see something and be like, I can be that. I wish I was that. I was that kid. And to think that it followed me to my adult life. So it took me sitting at home doing my hobbies, which is sometimes I cook, and studying for the LSATs, waiting for my OPT, and just one day, and then I just started to go to groceries. I mean, not grocery stores. Well, there are interior sections in grocery stores, some grocery stores in America, but just going to places like Bed Bath & Beyond, Bath & Body Works, RH, just for fun. And I found that my days were not boring while I was doing that. So I felt like, okay, I'm actually good at this. And I decided to research, schools for design. And I was supposed to be California. I was like, no, I don't want to stay in America again. Let me find it. And then I found out that Italy was actually the hub of design. And I found this fancy school. Shout out to my school. I go there, so I go to Italy as much as I can. In fact, I was there 3 months ago for Milan Design Week, and I visited
your school, your alma mater.
My alma mater. Some of my best teachers, some of my worst teachers. So and then it was emotional. It was an emotional moment because I actually framed a photo of me and my former principal, great guy. So it was a school in Florence called Florence Institute of Design International. So people from all over the world. And you can't go to a place like that and not be a design genius. And I would say...
I like the humble brag, the subtle humble brag.
So when it comes to design, everyone says that, because it's the one thing I'm confident about. Like I said, I wasn't like I was good at school, but I was bad at math. But I was good at school, but I wasn't happy that I was doing anything crazy. But the one thing that gives me confidence in any room is when I'm talking about design or anything. That's me. Design is me.
Fantastic.
It's just me.
Fantastic.
That's all I know.
So we're going to get a bit more into your journey back to Nigeria. So after design school, what that looked like when you came back and, started to face life back home.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, let's play a little game.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to know what we've called our game?
Sure. Go ahead.
Nigerian by design.
Oh, I like that. Anything design, just, those bumps.
Right?
Yeah.
So this one, you have 5 questions, and I'm going to give you options. All I need from you is the correct answer.
Okay.
Are we good?
All right, so I have options. That's good.
Yes, we have options.
No, they're not hard. Hard questions have options.
No, they're not very hard. I don't think so.
All right, go ahead.
First question. Which Nigerian design element is often associated with Igbo cultural aesthetics?
Okay.
Option A, leopard skin rugs. B, Ashoke wallpaper. Or C, uli patterns.
Oh, so 3 options.
Yes.
So with C, I'm trying to figure out what uli means. But I think with animal prints, they would A, leopard skin mode.
That's your answer?
I mean, if I did know what uli was,
Fair.
I
Fair.
would put two and two together. However, let's go with A, since I know what I'm talking about when I choose A. So,
Okay, but
leopard skin mode.
the answer is C.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that was tricky.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What local Nigerian craft is used for both furniture and ceiling decor in high-end eco homes? A, tie and dye, B, raffia weaving, or C, bead stringing?
The raffia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Shout out to Lani. Yeah.
Question 3. Which Lagos neighborhood is often associated with high-end modern interior design trends? A, Ikoyi, B, Surulere, or C, Mushin?
No, it's a relative thing. Design is the most
Right.
relative thing ever, but I can guess they chose Ikoyi.
Ikoyi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guessed right. Question 4. Which fabric is sometimes stretched on walls as a form of acoustic and aesthetic treatment in Nigerian homes? A, Ankara, B, lace, or C, kente?
Ankara.
Ankara is correct. I knew this was right up your alley, of course. Duh.
Cool.
And your final question.
Okay.
What local term describes the exaggerated, often luxurious decor style found in some Nigerian homes?
Shade. This is shade.
A, extra, B, overdue, or C, Lagos luxury?
Lagos.
Lagos luxury.
I knew the answer before you.
Before I even. You did good on this game. Okay, that was a very successful game session, but it's the interior design maestro, so of course it was going to nail it. Don't go anywhere though. When we come back, we'll be getting even deeper into Kunle's JAPADA story, only on JAPADA. Welcome back. This is still JAPADA, and I've got here with me Kunle Balogun. And we're having a good time, aren't we?
Of course.
Yes.
Keep rolling.
Keep rolling. I love it. I love it. So where we left off, you were talking about your time in Italy,
Yes.
in Florence, in design school.
Yes.
But I want to kind of start to bring it back home.
Okay.
You know, but before we get back to Lagos, after school, you came back to Lagos. Was there ever a moment while you were in Italy that you thought, maybe I should stay back here? Maybe I can build something here or somewhere else that wasn't Nigeria?
Right. In Italy, to be honest, I knew that I wanted to take my talents to Lagos. However, in the US, I thought I was going to be there forever. Because it actually took me a while to get there. After I finished secondary school, I had applied for an F1 visa to go study at the university there. And I remember the interview very, very well. I remember the woman's face very, very well. She had asked me for my WAEC result. After I gave her my SAT scores, she had asked me for a printout of my WAEC result. And I was like, oh, I didn't come with it. And she was like, oh, we got a problem. That's the only reason I can't give you a visit today. And I was like, what? She was like, there's no proof that I did WAEC. I was like, if I didn't do WAEC, I would like to guess it is.
Let's not even get
And she
into
stamped it and she said, it's denied.
Oh, Lord.
So I was at home for another 6 months. I was there from January to August before I had to reapply and then go to the US. I was like, I'm never coming back to this damn country. All my friends had already started, and that time, high five was what was really.
High five.
So I'll be looking at photos of all these US
I'm
school
feeling
parties.
FOMO.
And I would just be like, oh, I can't wait. So this is the kind of kid I was. I would see something on TV and I would want to be that. And this was for the longest, by the way. It's not like I want to be that, but it just resonated with me. So I was one of those Nigerians that would go to America and just
Leave home behind.
Yeah, all my friends were Americans. I didn't like going to the Nigerian parties that they used to organize. All my friends, I even had I don't know what I go. People used to call me Richie.
Where did that come from?
It was stupid. Because I used to get allowances from my dad. And The American students didn't understand.
Okay, Richie as in Richie
Yeah,
Rich.
Richie Rich.
Got you.
Richie Rich. So I was one of those, coming back home wasn't something I was looking forward to. I wasn't planning around it. I really wasn't planning around it. In fact, I wanted to apply for a green card in some way, somehow, through a job that I would get. So coming back I didn't have plans to set up anything. I didn't even think of what I could do in Lagos. All my brothers that moved back to Lagos, because I was the last to move back, all my brothers that moved back usually got plugged into politics. My dad, and I never saw myself being a politician ever. I never, so
you didn't really think there was a strong place for you?
I didn't think there was anything for me here. Yeah, so I was planning towards staying in the US, not so much Italy. Italy, I already had a plan.
But then it was clearer to you?
It was clear what I wanted. It was clear what I wanted.
Okay.
And I just wanted to make a career whatever I did in Florence, Nigeria.
And make it make sense back home.
And make it make sense back home.
So let's throw back to when you finally came back home. You're fresh from design school. You're probably bursting with excitement and ideas.
Yeah.
Do you remember what your first week back home was like?
So my story is it's quite shocking because I got lucky. I won't say I got lucky. It was through my hard work, but it was still I was just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
So I moved back at a time where my peers could afford my services. It was at the right time. And then the crazy part is I launched my company the summer before I graduated design school. So I launched my company in July. I graduated December of that same year. So I was doing 3 projects in Nigeria while I was taking my last set of classes in Florence.
Oh, wow.
So
you were overseeing this virtually?
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
I was. So it was 1 residential project, 1 commercial project, and 1 very small project. So I would usually, and then the time difference was, Italy was an hour, ahead of Nigeria, and then I had that advantage. I'll micromanage artisans. At the time, I couldn't afford staff. So I just had artisans. Those are the carpenters, the tilers, and I would usually just micromanage them, head to class. And then while in class, I would focus. By the time class is over, I look at my phone, it's already buzzing with different. And then if anybody knows the interior design industry, before you have a structure, it's you and artisans conversing. So I find myself, transferring money for extra materials. And also, it was challenging, but I was so happy and proud of myself that I could, do this, learn design, and then execute it in Nigeria concurrently. And obviously, I faced challenges whereby clients want to see you in person, and I have to explain that I'm not in town. Obviously, I didn't want them to know that they were hiring a student. But, it worked out. And then one was a restaurant, and when I came back home, that restaurant was the first place I went to.
Oh, how did that feel?
Listen.
To see your work in person.
Listen, imagine seeing photo progresses of your work, and then you only see the photos, and then you now see it in person, and you're like, okay, wow, I actually did this. I did this. And then I remember I got there first because there was an event that day. I got there, I arrived in the morning, and I got there around 6 p.m. I just sat at the bar. That's where the guy had to give me a whiskey.
Aww.
I just started looking around. The bartender didn't even know who I was. I constructed that bar, and he didn't even know who I was. Because usually when you work at commercial places like that, you see their processes where they start to hire people, you get familiar with them. So it was exciting. There's certain things that design has done for me and that I've been able to accomplish that I just look at myself, I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I found that I'm good at this. That was that moment, moving back to Nigeria, I was ready. And moving forward, the challenge, because I have a lot of hurdles that I crossed in business, because talent is never enough. I learned that even very late in business, that talent is not enough, and that's what Nigeria really showed me. So people wanted the restaurant was very popular, and so after we were done, a lot of people wanted to hire me, but my structure wasn't ready for that yet. So Nigeria really dealt with me that period, because you get hired, while you're pitching to get hired, you sound like a genius, because when I'm talking design, I sound, but then again, the execution phase, I was struggling.
I was actually going to say, I was equally proud of you that you were able to execute those initial projects from over there.
Yes.
But I was even extra proud of the artisans because
Right.
I hear stories,
Yeah,
right?
so luckily for me, I was able to hire a freelancer, a project manager
Okay.
that I was paying monthly.
Great.
The reason why I was struggling afterwards is because I took more than I can handle. I'm sure if some of my early clients are watching, they'll be like, yeah, Kunle, you're right, thanks for saying the truth. But, it was the journey, it was
Yeah.
part of that lesson. I just knew I was where I needed to be, so I just kept on pushing.
Going.
Yeah, I kept on going. And
Would you consider any of those initial 3 projects your breakthrough project? Or is there another project that you think was your, yes, this is it, I have
Okay,
arrived moment?
I won't call any project my breakthrough. I will call what I did before I arrived in Nigeria my breakthrough. So
Okay.
I had a certain approach whereby when I launched my business, I made myself known. So I had media partners, and what I did was to gather people, potential clients, use my dad's network, use my mom's network. I gathered people to a hall, and I presented my designs. I launched my company, and that was where I got those first 3 jobs.
Okay.
Now, because I partner with media, I had media partners. I was put out there to blogs, and so I looked like a big shot from the beginning. Now, I wouldn't advise anyone to do that today.
That's packaging, right?
That's packaging. I would advise people to grow your business organically before you let your business speak for you. On that day, I was good at what I was talking about, but I wasn't good at executing it in Nigeria yet. Although, experience teaches you best. It's just that that moment, that phase was a thing of, oh, this big shot that has landed from Florence, Italy, is opening a design firm, and I didn't have any staff, it was just me. But I was, I think the lesson there was, you can either learn, struggling, or you can learn, the easy way. So I'm grateful for that. However, I feel like putting myself out there made people hire me more, and then I learned on the job. Basic things that I did not know. I was good at drawings. I was good at putting things together. I was good at space planning. But like furniture manufacturing, I had not yet figured out the details that I needed to figure out. However, the restaurant job, I had to do purchases. I was good at drawings. I was good at building, a bar, and I was good at choosing materials. That's what really helped me.
Okay.
So I chose materials from all over there and had people execute it. So it turned out great.
It worked.
It just, I couldn't handle so much. That was what it was. I couldn't handle so much that early.
Yeah. So I from everything you've said, I understand that by the time you were even going to design school, it was clear to you that after this, home straight.
Yes, yeah, so, yeah.
But let's rewind to your time in the USA, because you had mentioned that you thought you were going to settle down there. At what point did it become clear to you that, okay, this is not my end game?
Yeah.
I'm not going to stay here. This is not home.
Right. So in the US, it was pretty much the period where I was waiting for the OPT, which is the work permit. I had a lot of thinking to do, because between graduation and applying for a work permit, you're pretty much not doing everything in the day. You're watching movies, and it's nighttime, you go to parties. So during the day, I had a lot of thinking to do. And that is when I decided that I wanted to do design because of my daily routine and how I would usually shop for accessories and shop for just for fun. And I just told myself that I'm going to start to research design schools. And at this point, I had not thought of Nigeria. But when I started to see what was happening in design in Nigeria, I admired someone who, what she does is she makes furniture. And she's been doing this for over 35 years now. At the time, it was like 20-something years, like 20, it was 20-something years. And her name is Ifeanyi Ighodalo.
Of course.
That was someone I picked up as a mentor. And I was just, I was like, so this is happening in Nigeria. And I started to research. I found out there was an Interior Design Association of Nigeria. It was impressive. And there was now a show I found on YouTube where there was a design competition. I can't remember the name. but I wish I can remember the name. That way I could say it here and then.
A Nigerian design
A
competition?
Nigerian design competition where people have to compete and get eliminated, and the winner had to go, for a scholarship for a design course.
Okay.
I went through those episodes and I was so impressed. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. It's happening in Nigeria. So
Yeah.
it goes back to what I'm saying about find out what's,
Do your
popping.
research, yeah.
Like I said, I applied for design school even before I started grad school. I was so eager. So all through business school, I was just thinking about,
You were just
when am I
counting
leaving
the
this?
days.
When am I leaving this? Because, the US, I was there for a while.
You never considered going to design school in Italy and then coming back
To the US?
To the US?
Never.
No, that was never an option for you. You're a
Never.
true son of this.
I found that, yeah, my heart was, I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
My heart was always back home.
home.
I was just doing, when I thought I was going to live in the US, it was because I had not found out who I was. I had not found out who I was. And then it's so funny how design just shaped who I am in general. It just shaped the daily life in Florence just makes you an awesome designer. Everywhere you look, you just learn something new.
Just inspired by everything around you.
The reason why I didn't want to go back to America is because I felt that, there was like I said, there was a cap to your success. I would have been salary based. In Nigeria, I can be my CEO. I graduated on Friday in Florence. I was back on the next KLM flight the next day.
Wow.
And I was in Nigeria by Sunday. I was that eager. And I already started getting inquiries, we'll come to this side. And then I started to do some hiring from my job at the time. So I was really eager to come back home and start making it. And I have this love for money. I like fancy things.
I love it.
I like good things. So I wanted to be, quote unquote, part of the,
the Richie Riches.
the Richie Riches.
By your own rights.
Yeah, So it's Nigeria gave me that motivation. I was like, okay, if I could, find what I love. And
Yeah.
so I picked up a mentor. And I started to learn how to do business and, speak out. I was kind of timid at the time, but I learned that you have to, so I got someone to introduce me to who was my then mentor, Ifeanyi Godalo. She walked me through how to do invoices well, how to value yourself, how to price yourself, how the industry is like currently compared to when she started. And then I got to meet other interior designers that actually liked my work from my posts that I used to post, and then the rest is history. And so all my colleagues, the thing with designing in Nigeria is the sky's big enough for everybody. We all know each other, and the sky is big enough for
Yeah,
for
because
all
it
of
sounded
us.
to me
So,
like a very cohesive, caring community.
Yes, interior designers admire other interior designers.
And I'm not afraid to let them know.
Yeah, I think I can speak for them.
I love that. I
You
absolutely
admire
love
other
that.
interior designers. You
Love
don't.
that.
It's not. There's no rap beef.
Yeah.
or-
No rap. Before we get even further, there's something we like to do here. No, it's not another game, don't worry.
That's fine.
It's called the JAPADA checklist.
Okay.
Now, there's some people that are watching and they're probably thinking, it might be a good idea to move home. So maybe they've gone to school or they've spent a few years abroad and they've been flirting with the idea of moving back. And now they see Kunle Balogun, he's doing amazing. And it's like, okay, I'm going to move back. If you were to create a checklist for such a person, so advice on what to consider before moving back, things to make sure you bring, things that you absolutely have to leave behind, what would that checklist be?
Okay. All right. The first thing will be your network. Yeah. I believe that your network is equal to your net worth. And in a place like Nigeria, especially, if you don't know, it's like that all over the world. But Nigeria, if you really don't have a community of people that need what you have to offer, it's kind of like a no-go. What you offer and your talent is one thing, but like the people who are going to say yes to whatever you have to offer, whatever you're bringing to the table, matters a lot. So you should make sure you have like a target market. You have to have like a network of, and that's what helped me. I went to high school here. I'm very glad I went to high school here because a lot of my friends that went to high school here, they came back and they started doing well for themselves at the time I returned. Another thing is to make sure that there's high demand for
What
what
you're
you're
bringing.
bringing. You know, I had someone who said he wanted to do mining, and he didn't know the location, he didn't do research, just, you know, so do your research, see what is popping. First, don't do it as a hustle. Do what you love, and then see if it is necessary, if it's needed, if it's in demand for, you know, in Nigeria for what you're coming to do it for. So there's the other thing is, if you can raise capital where you are, raise as much
Before you even get here.
before you get here, and don't raise it just to get settled. Raise it so you can multiply it when you get here. I have different examples and different stories of different people moving back. I know someone that just saved money only so he can rent a place for the year, and he will figure out how to do
The
everything.
rest.
So it's that's risky, you know. So save money if you're able to. If you're abroad, save money and tell yourself, how do I multiply this when I get home? Is it through what the business you're trying to do? Find out what really breeds, you know, capital in Nigeria. Other than that, just prepare your mental
your mental states.
your mental states. That comfort, it doesn't come easy here. I tell people that no matter how comfortable your house is, by the time you step out, you get reminded that you're in
realities will
Nigeria.
hit you.
So yeah, you prepare some people just can't handle, I know some people can't handle the day-to-day in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I was one of those. I'll come for Christmas and I'll be like, how do you do this? How do you do this? But by the time I started to, I have strong ties with Nigeria, by the way. My family has always been here. My dad is from Lagos, my mom is from Ife. When I used to come back home, I was like, I can never leave here. How can I be sitting here? This car has been in my front since, and it's not even moving. And that person is trying to sell me recharge card, knocking on my door. I'm like, this is chaotic. But I saw all this stuff growing up. It's just that when you spend time in America, and then you now come back for like 2 weeks and you experience that, you're like, okay, how did I used to do this before? However, you know, the once you set a goal and say this place is the place for me, or this place is not working for me, because sometimes it's not just about I'm going to Nigeria just to make money. It's about I have realized that abroad life is not.
Yeah, I'm done here.
I'm done here. You know, and the thing with life in the U.S., especially because that's where I thought I was going to live.
Yeah.
Is that there's a cap to your success. In Nigeria, the sky is the limit. I remember when I made some money at some point, I could not believe it. I mean, I want to be very honest, I was one of those kids that lived on allowance for a long time, you know, for a long time in America, because I couldn't work. I was an international student. So I was so proud of myself that I'm actually working for my money. And to think that while I started working for my money was way more than what I was getting when I thought I was rich. And then I remember my first few, you know, big bucks. It was surreal. I was like, wow, what do I do? Like, this is me. And I just felt like I wouldn't have had that feeling in the US. I'm just, you know, there's a lot to offer people here in Nigeria. It's amazing. It's not just in design. It's in a lot of industries. Just find your niche.
Yeah.
Find your network. Be disciplined. You know, that discipline is key, by the way. You know, be disciplined, and then the country will be nice to you.
Fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, you
I
know,
love that. Be disciplined and the country will be nice to you. I think Kunle has given us a pretty good checklist, and I hope you were taking notes. Don't go anywhere though. When we return to JAPADA, we'll be going full throttle into Kunle's journey as an interior designer here in Nigeria. We'll be right back.
No matter where life takes you, home is never far when you bank with Polaris.
Introducing the Polaris Global Account, specially designed for Nigerians in the diaspora who need to stay connected to banking in Nigeria. Start with just $200, 200 pounds, 200 euros, or 50,000 naira, and enjoy zero account maintenance fees when you maintain a daily balance of 50,000 naira. Should your balance fall below that threshold, a minimal charge applies.
Enjoy multi-currency banking,
Dollar, pound, or euro, along with international transfers, debit cards, third-party withdrawals, and a seamless digital experience on Vault. And with the new non-resident bank verification number solution, Nigerians abroad can now enroll and obtain their BVN remotely. No travel required. Call 23401-453-6279 or send a mail to global at polarisbankng.com to get started today. T's and C's applies.
This is Ogidi, right here in Lagos, the entertainment capital of Africa. We are not just another studio. We're the space African artists have been waiting for. Walk in with an idea, walk out with a masterpiece. State-of-the-art recording, cinematic-grade film production, everything under one roof because your creativity doesn't work in pieces. The console is warm. The cameras are ready. The energy, pure Lagos. From the first note to the final cut, this is where vision becomes reality. African stories, global standard, no compromise. Ogidi Studios, this is where you create.
Welcome back to JAPADA. We're still here with Kunle Balogun. And I have to say that my creative juices have absolutely been awakened by our conversation so far.
I'm glad to hear that. I'll take it. I'm glad to hear that.
There's something that I found interesting and very impressive about the way you do business, the way you do your interior design business.
Right.
And it's that you use 100% Nigerian-made materials in your project. Right?
Okay, yeah. So I don't want to, sound like broken, but it's not 100% Nigerian-made material.
Okay.
What it is that it's locally made. The hands that make it, we don't do a lot of importing.
Okay.
Right now, my material is from Turkey. That's the fabric.
Okay.
However, you can source wood, you can source boards in the local markets, But the idea, and that's why my company is called House of Assembles, because assembles means just pretty much putting things together. And any finished product, any finished space, I consider it a house of assembles, so the HOA Interiors. For what we do, what we try to project is that you don't have to import furniture. And like I said, I'm very confident anytime I talk about design. You can put my furniture next to an imported furniture and you will know the difference. I've had instances where people would ask where I got it from.
Interesting.
I've had instances.
Well, it's just right here.
Yeah, I've had many proud moments.
Oh, I love that.
I've had many proud moments and I'm just like, okay, yes, I finally got to the point where people would ask. It didn't always start like that. It didn't always start like that, but like once there's mistake after mistake, once there's mistake in the detail after every mistake in the detail, you tend to correct it at each instance and then until it's perfect. So what we try to propel is that good furniture can be made locally. And to date, only if the client wants imported furniture, I just have to give in.
Because that's what they want.
Because that's what they want. But I first sell that we make whatever it is in Nigeria.
I absolutely love that. I really do. How would you say you balance modern aesthetics with Nigerian identity?
That's our approach. If you go on our website, I tell you that we take the Italian approach with a touch of some African heritage.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to get deeper. With design, it doesn't have to look African to be inspired by Africa. This is a designer speaking with you. If an African mind thought of something and it brings it out and produces something, he can claim. That's why you see sometimes, okay, I'll give you an instance. My first ever product was a recessed furniture. The hexagon shape was something I was always drawn to as a kid. So that sofa or a recessed furniture was made in the hexagon shape, and then you can actually go into it. The material was from Milan. The speakers were Bosch. The lighting, all of that detail, I still called it Ikwamo. Ipamo means sanctuary. So because it was recess, it's somewhere you can just go into and hide and then just do some deep thinking, drink coffee, read a book. But because of how my frame of reference is in design, I didn't give it an English name or an Italian name. I still named, that was my baby. That was like my first product. I still named it Ipamo.
Ipamo, I love that.
Yeah, so that's how that played a role. However, the furniture piece doesn't have to have an Ankara print. And that's my own opinion. I'm that deep.
Got you.
When it comes
And
to
that
but,
makes sense.
Yeah,
That
I do love to see all of that. I like it, and I have done it before. I've done it before for clients, and and that's why I like your backdrop.
Thank you.
I really like it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hey,
Don't get me
thank you.
deeper. Don't get me deeper in design. All this design talk, I won't stop.
I mean, I'm still talking design,
Yeah.
because how can we not? I want to talk a little bit about your memorable project, your most memorable project. I came across a video where you designed a child's room, a luxury child's room.
Yeah.
What was it like doing that?
So at the time, my son was 2 months old, and I finished his room while he was on his way to Nigeria.
No.
I finished his room just at the time they were, returning to Nigeria. So I had a strong connection with baby rooms at the time, because I was
Naturally.
researching the baby room from the moment his mom said that, we're expected.
Yeah.
So I started to, that's part of the things I did for fun. While going on Amazon, I started to design his room. So I knew that I was going to take that room in the house and turn it into, so I had a deep connection with making babies comfortable in their room in every detail. So the baby room that I designed was 8 months after my child was born.
Okay.
So they caught me at the right time. And it now became my thing. People started to disturb me.
Really? So you did a few of those?
I did a few of those. And for some reason, maybe it was like baby booming season. I don't understand. It was just, I just loved the experience.
Yeah.
I loved the fact that I could design a baby changing table that's very functional for a mother. I like the fact that I could, place the rocking chair where it needed to be, the colors in the room, the calmness, the, lack of sound in the flooring. It just gave me life because I was a father. I was a new father at the time. And that was funny enough. It's not about size. It's not about the profit made on the job. It's about the connection I had with the job. So that's one of the, and that's why it made it. So I'm not a big social media person, but when I do put something out, it's because it
meant something.
It meant something. So that was one of those projects whereby, it was nice also meeting the baby because it was my friend's kid.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I really love the personal connection that you felt to those particular projects.
Right.
So what would you say is the most challenging brief you've ever taken on since you started this? I imagine you have stories for days.
I do. And I hope I remember it because I have a lot. So I hope I remember the most challenging one. Sometimes it's not the job that's challenging. It's the person that handed you the job.
The clients.
The clients. That's the story. It's not. I've had situations where the job is actually tasking, but you challenging yourself is not as bad as the client directly, being
difficult.
So, and then I don't like to call clients difficult. I like to call them, what's the word for it? How can I say it?
Meticulous.
Meticulous, finicky,
Particular.
Yeah, and I actually prefer someone that's particular than someone that's indecisive. So the challenging project, I've had to do something that I had to do a lot of research for.
Okay.
It was a restaurant for an ethic restaurant. I don't know much about the culture, but I had to research it. And now the thing is, I'm pretty confident when I can convince you to pay me for my services. I know how to do that. So I crossed that bridge. However, there are certain things there's certain elements that they hold very dearly in terms of, the aesthetics that I had to, fabricate. My artisans as well were not familiar with it. It was, I had to do things like fans, on the walls, like the local fans on the walls. And so I found myself just trying to settle for the ones that I could find in terms of colors. However, when we started to install and certain things, I found out that she was her culture was very, very dear to her. And she didn't find it funny that it looked good, but she didn't find it funny that we were just mixing colors for her. She wanted the authentic.
As in straight from ethic.
And then, I don't know why she had so much belief that we knew more than we knew about the culture. That was just an example of one element. It took a while. I had to travel. At some point, somebody said that you can find this one when you get to, on the road to Oshogbo, you see one place. And I did all of this stuff. And then another person said that people that come from Benin, that come from Cotonou, bring in this raffia stuff, bring in this timber. This was my first year in business. Bring in this timber wood. So somebody brought what they needed. Come to find out the person got stopped by customs. I was up all night trying to talk to the person. I was hearing the custom officer threatening me that, look, I have your load. There's nothing you can do. This is at midnight. This is for a job. I was worn out. But it just so happens that anything with design, I want to see it to the end.
Yeah.
Design is one thing that you enjoy the end more. As a designer, you enjoy the start, you enjoy the progress, but at the end, you want to see things to the end. And it took a long time. The client was frustrated, I was frustrated, my team was frustrated, but we ended up getting it right. That was one job that took a toll on me because I felt like I'm a people's pleaser. And in this job, you get to witness sometimes the calmest people get frustrated. And you have to mentally prepare yourself to have like a thick skin and just be that person that always says it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You can't talk back. You just have to say it's gonna be fine. That was really challenging. And we had to deliver. But trust me when I say it took a long time. I don't want you to judge me, so I don't see the amount of, months it took. But it took a while. We delivered.
But you delivered at the end.
No one can ever know what I went through to deliver that project.
Oh.
First year in business, and it was part of my learning process. So I'm actually happy that I got to learn the culture.
Yeah, fantastic.
I ate at the restaurant. The food was not bad. It was nice. Shout out to Nigeria. I love the food.
I'm hearing a bit of peculiarities of doing in the interior design business in Nigeria. So I know you didn't practice in Italy, for example, or in the USA, but you lived there for a while, so you probably have an idea. How do you think Nigeria differs? What are those unique peculiarities to Nigeria in the design space that you think is probably not obtainable abroad?
In the US, sometimes talents can get you very far. In Nigeria, your talent can be recognized, but how you move in a room, how you speak in a room, how confident you are, it's just this difference on how people believe in you in Nigeria than the US. And then the normal US culture is you get a degree and then you apply for a job. They tell you what your your gross salary is and everything. And then that's where you'll be. You can ask for a promotion or you can move to another firm. I have friends that were in design school that, still work in firms.
Yeah.
But shout out to them, they're doing really good. What I've, gained here in my experience with, pitching or being referred to someone, it just makes me, I just feel more accomplished. Like someone will call me and say, oh, this person is going to call you. When the person calls me, now turns out to someone that I really admire, or I admired for a long time. And I just thank God again, okay, yes, I get to meet this person that I booked an appointment with. That feeling it's refreshing.
Yeah.
And to know that I'm doing that back home, it's amazing. So it just catering to your people. It's a different feeling. And then being recognized even abroad with people that I know abroad. Like I've had, virtual podcasts with colleagues abroad, and we've talked about hurdles in Nigeria, hurdles in the US, and comparing, both. I've had master classes in my previous school, and then, I just felt like if I stayed in the US, I wouldn't be able to, reach out and explore my entire, talent, and just make people know that actually Nigerians are actually really good at this. I was talking with someone on the plane on the way back from Milan Design Week, and I showed her local furniture, and she couldn't believe it was made in Nigeria. This is an interior designer in California that has not thought about what is happening in terms of Africa in design. Yeah, and then she was like, "You did this, you guys did this, that. Do we export it?" So she gave me an idea. She asked if I export it. That was an idea.
Fantastic.
So,
Nigeria
the fact
can
that, so the fact that you're doing business in Nigeria,
Yeah.
does not mean that you cannot still milk
Of course.
the attention of those guys.
Yeah. Amazing. I love that. You just highlighted that Nigeria can absolutely be an enabling environment and fertile ground for your business.
Exactly.
If you plug in.
If you plug in.
correctly.
If you plug in.
Let's talk legacy.
Okay.
What legacy do you hope your company has been able to build in the 10 years or more that you've been in business?
For us to keep on going and growing to this point, and people do know us for actually propelling locally made furniture. And furniture manufacturing is just one aspect of it. The details, the furniture that we've copyrighted that's exclusive to HOA, and then the space planning and the less is more approach. So we have this thing where we say, when we have something to tell you, we design it. So that just means that before I say anything to you, let me show you, and just wait till it happens. And when you see it, this is all I wanted to say. I've designed it for you. So in terms of legacy, we want to be up there. We want to continue to be in the conversations when there's be it anything, this Lagos Design Week, Milan Design Week, when there's a podcast, when there's a panel, and when Mimi needs to interview someone. Just whatever it is, HOA, the name
Is in the conversation.
is in the conversation. That's good enough for me.
That's amazing.
That's good enough for me. I don't want to be the Messi of anything, or like as long as what you do, you're recognized for what you're doing, you're recognized for doing it well, I feel like that's an accomplishment.
Amazing.
And then just improve and improve and improve.
Yeah.
Not just to be on cruise control, but just improve and improve and improve. So
I love that.
That's fine.
I
That's
love
good
that.
enough for me.
That sounds to me like a legacy of consistency,
Consistency.
competence, and just pure Nigerian excellence.
Yeah.
Which is
I should have said
amazing.
that. Yes.
It's honestly been so incredible listening to your story
Thank you.
and just getting into your journey. But before I let you go, I want us to have a little visioning session. So I want you to think about your ideal Nigeria. What does that look like? What would you consider your Nigerian dream?
Yeah, my Nigerian dream is a time, a scenario, a period where the government and business owners thrive just as much together. No one-sidedness in citizens that live here. The hope of every child that goes to school should just be as bright as the hope of every child who has an opportunity, even before school. So the coexisting and the increased chances of the majority making it in Nigeria, that's the Nigerian dream. That would be delightful to see. So essentially, I'm asking for a middle class.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So disappearing the lower class, eradicating the lower class, I'd like to just be a middle class and a high class. I could live with that. That's my Nigerian dream.
That's a pretty decent Nigerian dream. Thank you so much,
Thank
Kunle.
you.
This has been amazing, honestly. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, if design is about improving spaces for better living, then Kunle Balogun has definitely made his mark in his various corners of the world, transforming spaces and lives by extension. Excellence can absolutely be found in Nigeria, and I need you to believe it. Like the oil fields that enrich the nation, the Nigerian people are a new form of crude. You just have to look for the signs. So let's get to drilling. I'm Mimi Onolaja, and this has been JAPADA. We'll see you next time.